Hi, second grade. Mr. Shook again. Grade 2 skills. We're on Unit 2, Lesson 3. Let's get started. Our learning goals for today: being able to unscramble an interrogative sentence and a declarative sentence. So just like before, you'll have a sentence that's all scrambled up, and we're going to put them in the right order. Being able to read words with the E sounds that we'll go over today. Read the story The Milk and answer questions about that story, but then also write about the story. Okay, our first scrambled sentence. It's scrambled to say, sit I up, bit, question mark, a can't. So, as we know, questions begin with what kind of letter? Uppercase. So, looking at these words, we see that the can't begins with an uppercase C. So that must be the first word. Can't blank. We don't know. But we also know that sentences end with punctuation. And the only punctuation here is the question mark. So we know we're going to have a question. Can't what? Can't sit, can't up, can't I, can't a, or can't bit. Take a second and try to figure out what this might say. Can't I bit up sit? Can't sit I bit a up? What do you think? Here's the answer. Can't I sit up a bit? You got it right. Great job. Sentence 2 is liked a me, period, bedtime tale, gramp your, this to tell. First off, what kind of punctuation will this sentence end with? Good job. A period. You see the period up here. And what's the first word of this sentence? Good. This. All right, take a minute and try to figure out what this sentence might say. This bedtime gramp liked your me tell a. This is blank. What could this be? This is, see the nouns, there's gramp and bedtime tale. This is a gramp. This is a bedtime tale. What do you think? This is a bedtime tale. Your, is there any people? Your gramp. Good. This is a bedtime tale your gramp liked to tell me. Okay, our first sound today, we have a double E. E. The two letters together make the long E sound. E. You try. Good job. Here are some words that have the double E sound in them. Free, sweet. Do you hear the E in each word? Seam, weed, tree, bee, and that's the last one. Here is our sound card. It's green because it's a vowel sound, the double E. For example, the word bee, like a bumblebee flying around. If you look at the power bar, it's very small, so this is not the most common spelling of the E sound, but it is one of them. Now we have EA. This can make different sounds as well, but in this case, it is another E sound. So for example, beach, stream, deal, dream, heat, and week. If you hear them, we eek, be each. You hear that long E sound in the middle. Here's the vowel sound card for E, A, like in beach. And once again, it's a small power bar. And now we have the word, the name Pete. You notice we have the two E's underlined because in this word, this second E is a magic E. The two E's together will work together to make the long E sound. The magic E will make the first E say its name. So, for example, E, T, peat. We have the P making the P sound. Both E's together within our little horseshoe shape, making the E sound. And the T says T, peat. So, some more words with the magic E. Eve, theme, these. And here's our vowel card for that sound. An even smaller power bar, if you'll see. We can add all of those to our chart. If you still have your individual code chart, go ahead and add them as well. For the long E sound, if you look, there's a lot of different options. So far today, we did the double E, EA, and the E with a space with the magic E at the end. All saying E. Okay, now we're going to take a word and we're going to practice adding a magic E at the end to change the way the word sounds. So this word is them. But if we add an E at the end, the magic E makes this E say its name and now becomes theme. We have wed. Make it a double E and now we have weed. Like there's a lot of weeds growing in the garden. We go from, what word is this? Sound it out. B-at. Bat. Give it a long E sound and now we have beet. This is the kind of beet you would eat. A vegetable beet. Here we have Dan. D-A-N. Dan. Add an A, and now we have dean, like the dean of schools. You might have a dean of school. Okay, what is this word? Mat. Very good. Add another E. We have the long E sound, and now it's saying meet. Hi, nice to meet you. Here we have man. Man. Add an A in there. The E and the A work together to make the E sound, and the word is mean. Mean. If someone is not nice, they could be called mean. Okay, here we have bad. Bad. Add an A, and we now have bead. Long E sound in the middle. Bead. Here we have lad. Add the A, give it a long E sound. Now it's lead. Lead the line to lunch, please. Here is red. Red, the color red. Add a double E. Now it's reed. A reed. If you play an instrument, you might have a reed that goes in to help you make music. Okay, this one's a little trickier. Bled. Bled. When I cut my finger, it bled. We add the double E, now it's bleed. Bleed. Be careful so that you don't bleed. Okay, now we have bat, like a baseball bat. We're going to add an A, so now we have the long E sound. It's beat. This is the other kind of beat, like, oh, this music has a great beat. Okay. Mat. Mat. You might put a mat down on the floor to take a nap. And if we add an EA, it's now meat, like the kind of meat you could eat for lunch. Meat. Okay, we're all done with that section of the lesson. Now for the reading. If you have your reader or get a hold of your copy of the text, Bedtime Tales. Today we're going to read The Milk. And if you look at your table of contents, the milk, follow the lines, it's on page 8. Okay, we're still in Mike's bedroom. Dad is telling him bedtime stories. Mike doesn't want to go to sleep. Dad's telling him some of the stories that Gramp told him. The milk. Follow along. And when we're all done, it's always a good idea to read it on your own as well. Mike's dad was getting set to tell a bedtime tale. He said, "The name of this bedtime tale is The Milk. Once upon a time, a lass named Jane set off from home to sell a bucket of milk. As she went, she was thinking of the cash she would get from selling the milk." So here's Jane holding the bucket of milk on her head, and she's just dreaming of all the things she could do with that cash. "I have big plans. I will sell this milk," she said, "and I will use the cash to get a hen. I hope my hen will make lots of eggs." Here's the hen laying some eggs. "Then I will sell those eggs and use the cash to get a cute piglet. I will take care of the piglet and let him munch on pig slop till he gets nice and plump." Plump. He's going to get nice and fat. "Then I will sell the pig and get a nice dress that I can dance in and..." If you see these dots, it's called an ellipsis. It's where she was talking and she kind of stopped because, but just as she was thinking of the dress, she tripped on a stone and the bucket fell with a crash. The milk splashed on the path. Jane made a face and fumed at the spilled milk. So here's Jane, not looking so happy anymore, and her bucket of milk spilled on the ground. The moral or lesson from the story: take one step at a time. Jane spent her whole walk thinking about what she's going to do with the money from the milk and what she's going to buy next and next and next. And she ended up spilling her whole bucket on the ground. "Is that the end?" asked Mike. "That's it," said his dad. "What a shame," said Mike. "She had such big plans." Mike's dad nodded. "You can make plans, but planning by itself will not make things happen." So yes, she was making all these plans, but it doesn't mean anything when she doesn't have the milk anymore. Mike sat thinking a bit. Then he said, "Dad, that bedtime tale was not bad, but it was sad. Next time, would you tell me a fun tale?" "Yes," said his dad, "next time." That's the end of that story. So we'll do a few questions about the story. Question number 1, what is the name of this tale? If you forget answer to any of these questions, simply look back at the passage that you have. What is the name of this tale? The Milk. You can see the title at the very beginning. Number 2, how will Jane make money with a hen? If you look back in your story, here's a passage. "I have big plans. I will sell this milk, and I will use the cash to get a hen. I hope my hen will make lots of eggs." So she's going to get a hen who will lay lots of eggs. And then she can use those eggs to make more money by selling them. Question 3. What will Jane do with the money from selling the pig? So if you remember, she's thinking of the pig and she's going to sell it to do what? Look back in your story. "I will sell the pig and get a nice dress that I can dance in." So she wants to sell the pig for a dress for dancing. Why do you think Jane stopped talking mid-sentence when she was describing the dress she would buy? So remember we talked about the ellipsis, the dot, dot, dot. She kind of stopped because something happened. What happened? Right, as she was walking and thinking of the dress, that's when she tripped on the stone and dropped her milk with a crash. Mike's dad says, "You can make plans, but planning by itself will not make things happen." Explain what Mike's dad means when he says this. What a shame, she had big plans. Remember, the dad said, "You can make plans, but planning by itself will not make things happen." What might he mean by that? One idea is that you can plan all you want, but if you don't put your plans into action, and if you're not actually doing things, she's not going to get there. And also, she wasn't being careful. She's making plans, but not being careful. So you have to one step at a time, right? All right. You will see a few more questions about this story in your Google form for Unit 2, Lesson 3. Great work today.